Hello there, this is James S. Crawford, 1978, and even if Trump is completely out of the woods and at no further risk of potentially fatal complications, the fact that his worshippers are cheering his supposed defeat of the coronavirus with nothing but his superior masculine manliness, essentially calling everyone who died of the virus a weak, pathetic loser who deserved to die in the name of hashtag herd immunity, hashtag survival of the fittest, while at the same time essentially calling Joe Biden a weak sissy cuck beta male mangina for being afraid of catching the virus is just another example of the sickening reality that the basis of most, if not all, right-wing, far-right and fascist ideology is rampant and self-destructive misogyny, specifically the toxically masculine conceit that man must endure, must dominate, must overcome, otherwise he is a girl. After all, as I've explained in previous videos linked to Darity Underbar and John Stanley explains in his book How Fascism Works, the basis of all fascism is absolute patriarchy, with the Führer or Duce being the father of the state, just as the man is the father of the family. This being the reason why, in spite of claiming to oppose the government in the name of defending freedom, meaning their own self-serving privilege and power, conservatives, libertarians and what have you adore fascist governments that promise to oppress everyone else so that they can be quote-unquote free. Regardless of what kind or type of government is in power, always oppressing women and the LGBTQIA plus community under the guise of hashtag family values, because in the end, leaving aside the fact that every right-of-centre political party and government exists entirely and solely to give more money and power to its corporate millionaire and billionaire overlords, every right-wing political policy, philosophy, position and culture war is sold either as giving more freedom, meaning power, to the working man, or protecting the working man and his doting wife and children from the evil, degenerate, jealous and inferior other, along with the evil elite who empower and enable them. Of course, as progressives, leftists, feminists, social justice activists and what have you, we all do our best to point out that this masculine power is a self-harming illusion, and that everyone would benefit from a more egalitarian society, including us as straight, white, cisgendered men, with the only real losers being the corporations and the 1% who currently exploit and manipulate us for their own benefit. But in the end, though, the reason why all right-wing, far-right and fascist propaganda is so successful is that it goes straight to the amygdala, straight to the primitive reptilian part of the brain where the only question is whether X makes us feel secure or makes us feel uncomfortable, threatened and judged. And this being the case, from men being afraid to recycle or otherwise be perceived as caring about the environment for fear of being called gay, to the absurd soy boy conspiracy theory, the utterly ridiculous and self-poning myth that consuming soy products reduces testosterone levels and thus somehow turns men into socialists, literally arguing that right-wing, far-right and fascist ideologies are more manly, socialism and communism, meaning literally anything that makes insecure men and their token supporters feel uncomfortable, are condemned as being feminine ideologies, hashtag socialism is for fags, with, lest we forget, all homophobia being merely a projection of misogyny, literally accusing any woman who isn't attractive and or submissive enough of being a quote-unquote dyke, and accusing any straight man such as Joe Biden who actually puts his life and the lives of others above looking tough of being gay. So, like the Nazis and the Italian fascists before them, today's how dare you call us fascists demand that we impose strict gender norms and make society masculine again, solely to make themselves feel secure, without the slightest idea of what that would actually mean in practice, except the world not revolving around their obviously inherent superior masculine manliness at the moment makes them feel uncomfortable, thus creating a world in which, from Trump turning mask wearing into a culture war, in which anyone who wears a mask is a brainwashed sheep, loser and sucker, to Trump and billions of other men around the world being more afraid of looking weak than they are of actually dying or spending the rest of their short, debilitated lives wheeling an oxygen tank behind them, men would literally rather risk their lives than not feel superior to women.